Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you're having the most amazing day. So, welcome back to the podcast. So, I'm really excited to do this episode. It's probably going to be a little bit of a longer one because I've got loads to talk about. But this has actually been quite a good day so far for me. So, if you don't know, I'm recording this podcast on Saturday, and usually I PT on Saturdays. I PT from very early morning at 6 until about 2, and then I'll train myself sometimes, go home, do one-to-one calls and other bits and bobs as well. However, today, this Saturday, I'm in between gyms at the moment because if you don't know, I've left PTing at Pure Gym, and from Monday I'm going to be PTing at Ascendancy, which if you're not in a local area to me, I technically live in Wigan, but I work in Warrington. It is a gym in Warrington and it is incredible. I'm so excited to take my PTs there and show them the kit. Eventually I'll be doing classes from there as well, which I really miss doing, because when you're in Pure Gym you've got to be a fitness instructor to do classes, or if you're not a fitness instructor and you're full rent, which is what I was, you've got to charge for your classes, but you can only charge like £2, so it doesn't really it's not really worth your time, especially because most people don't jump onto paid classes in Pure Gym because of course all the classes are free. However, when I PT in Ascendancy, I will be getting paid from them, but members won't need to pay, which is, yeah, I'm super excited for that. But yeah, this morning has been quite a chilled one. I've had a lie-in. I never have lie-ins, even on Sundays, which is technically my day off. I don't have lie-ins. I'm usually up doing something, ticking boxes, training myself, posing practice, getting filming in, going everywhere getting things done. So yeah, I always tend to have a very productive Sunday as well. Actually, the last time that I had a lie-in was, I think, Christmas week, which is mad because it's over a month ago now. So yeah, it's been a lovely morning. Had a lie-in, chilled with Miss Molly, played my Switch for a little bit. I'm very invested in a game at the moment called Cozy Grove, which is like Animal Crossing, but you're on like an island, and your island keeps expanding every time that you unlock something. But your residents on there, like Animal Crossing, how they're like little animals, these are like bears, but they're ghosts. I don't really know how to describe it. It's a very strange game, but I love it and I'm very invested in it. And yeah, essentially you can only really play it for about 30 minutes a day, but because obviously I'm new to the game, I'm playing a little bit longer. It's about an hour a day, but I tend not to really do that. Like today, obviously I have because I've had the time, but usually I spend about like 30 minutes on it. And also I've pre-downloaded Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as well, which I know is a really old game, but I haven't played it, and I love Zelda so much. I love the other one as well. Oh my god, I can't remember what it's called. Legend of Zelda. The other one, the first one that was on the Switch, like ages ago, I got proper invested in that. None of my friends saw me for ages, and now I've got Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, to be fair, with my life, I probably won't get much time to play it. It is going to be like a just before I go to bed kind of thing. But I am very excited because I go down to London tomorrow, and me and John are driving. So for that drive, I'll have time to like play video games. Of course, chat to John as well and keep him entertained. But when we're waiting and stuff like that, I'll have my Switch. When we're on the train and stuff, I'll have my Switch. So I'm very excited for that as well. Even though I feel like my Switch battery will just run out very quickly, especially with like a game as big as like Legend of Zelda. But yeah, we're going down to London tomorrow, which I'm very excited about, and it's for our Christmas present to each other, which we're going watching Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I haven't read the play. Jonathan has read the play, so yeah, we're going to watch that because neither of us have seen it, and I'm just really excited to be in London because if you don't know, I lived in London for nearly 5 years when I was a designer there, and it does have a special place in my heart. I wouldn't be able to go back to live there because usually for me like a long weekend is more than enough because it's too much for me. But yeah, I do love going down to London. I love museums. I love kind of like the vibe down there, and I very much miss Crosstown donuts. As far as I know, we don't have them up north, but obviously they're down in London, so I've planned that when we get down there, we're going to try and get down there a little bit earlier, nip to Crosstown, get a donut and a coffee before the play, and then we've booked a meal in between because it's two plays and there's like a few hours between each part of the play. So we're going to get lunch at Fat Hippo, which is around the corner as well. So I've booked for that too, which again, I'm very, very excited about because I haven't been to Fat Hippo in 2 years, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about that. So anyway, ramble over. Let's get into the podcast. So this episode is going to be about balancing fitness with a high achieving lifestyle. And I was actually talking to one of my clients about this yesterday, and I was like, you know what, you need to listen to this podcast when it's released on Monday because it's a better you. Because let's be honest, like, I think every woman who's a high achieving woman who is at fuck average, I want to be my very best self, will come into contact with this problem. And I've lived it. I completely understand, because it does feel sometimes when you're really trying to push up on your career and get higher and higher and higher, you obviously want to take care of your relationship, both platonic and romantic, when you potentially have kids, animals to take care of, house to take care of as well. And obviously you want to like smash your fitness goals. You might have like a big weight loss journey in front of you. You want to build like your best physique, you want to build muscle mass, and you've got to put that work in, you've got to put that time in. Sometimes it can feel like you're having to sacrifice one thing or another, and this podcast is going to go over why you don't have to. Now, in terms of like balancing, the way that I look about balancing is not that it's like a myth to balance, but a lot of people feel like they're going to be able to do everything all the time. So you're going to be able to spend an hour, 2 hours with your partner a night. You're going to be able to do your 1 to 2 hours in the gym. Not that you need that time. You probably need like 45 minutes to an hour max. But you've got that time in the gym. Then obviously there's a time like the 8, sometimes 9, 10 hours that you're at work as well. I know when I was working in design, it gets like 10, sometimes 11 hours, especially when I was living in London as well, when the hours were a lot longer. There'd be that as well. And then of course keeping on top of all like life admin, cleaning the house, all of that jazz, wanting a little bit of time for you as well, like reading, playing video games that I love to do, and even just like watching documentaries or your TV show, again, without losing your sanity as well. A lot of people feel they can do all of that all the time, and I just want to say that it's an unrealistic expectation. It is. Now you can balance them, but trying to fit everything in one day is unrealistic. The way that I like to view balance is thinking of an oven hob, like the oven hob, and you have pans on all of the little hobs, and they're all simmering. Now, when you want to focus on basically you're watching all of these pots, and you might have one pot that starts to like bubble over, and you've just got to you've got to focus on that pot and turn that down. And when you turn that down, another pot might start to like bubble over as well, and you just got to slightly focus on that one a little bit more and just turn that down slightly. And essentially that's what you're trying to do in your life. And it's not trying to see it from like a day-to-day basis, but try to see it from a monthly basis instead, like a weekly or a monthly. Like again, you might want to spend X amount of time with your partner. There might be a day where you don't get to spend time with your partner, like you might be passing ships, and that's okay. Like you'll probably make up that time on like a weekend, let's say a Saturday and Sunday, where you both have more time together, where you can spend that 3 hours together, again watching movies, going on a romantic stroll, going on a date, etc. You can make up that time elsewhere. Same with like cleaning the house. You might have it where it's like little micro bits throughout the day, or you can every other day you can do like a bigger clean on that, and then prioritize another thing on the days that you're not. Do you see what I'm saying with this? Like you kind of like balance it that way throughout the week and throughout the month instead. Because if you're trying to like have all the pots be simmering, I mean, at the same time, you're trying to get all your pots simmering, there are going to be points where you're going to have to like turn up, turn down, turn up, turn down to get them all at a perfect simmer. You are going to have to focus on one and the other. Now, if, for example, you're wanting, if you know a part of your life that needs more attention, i.e., let's say you've gained more body fat than what you'd like to gain, and you've got to, not got to, but you'd like to reduce that, then that pot on the hob is going to need a little bit more of your attention before you can achieve that true balance. And that's because you've been imbalanced one way to gain the body fat. So essentially you've got to be slightly unbalanced the other way in order to reduce that body fat. So it is going to need a little bit more attention, but something that I like to remind my clients is that this is temporary. You're temporary putting attention on that one hob to get it to where you want to be, and then it can be simmering. Then it can be simmering with the rest of the pots, and it'll be a little bit easier. Yes, there will be time where it needs a little bit more focus, i.e. after Christmas, after you come back from holiday, you probably have to spend a little bit more attention on that if you, again, have been unbalanced on a holiday, but it's going to be easier to maintain that than to get to your goal. Same, for example, if you're going for a really rough patch with your partner, you're probably going to have to spend more time on that hob with, you know what I mean, making sure that that's in a good place as well before everything is in a good place, and then it's going to be easy to maintain that. Same with your career. If you have like a really big project at the moment, you'll probably have to spend like a little bit more on that as well. So the concept of balance, not that balance is bullshit, I mean it is bullshit, but you've got to be unbalanced first if you're trying to achieve a goal, if you're trying to do something, before you can get that balance. And this is something that I really, really stress to a lot of my clients, to help them understand how to achieve balance, especially when they have a goal to get. That balance will come in the future, but in order to get that goal, we do have to be slightly unbalanced. Anyway, again, another ramble. So the things that I'm going to go over in this podcast is that I'm going to be going over ditching the excuses, because there's a lot of times where people come to me with excuses, which I am very happy to call out is bullshit. And the reason why is that that's not me being a see you next Tuesday. That's because the people that I take on, for coaching, because I don't accept everyone, I know the people that I take on are capable. I can see, like, I need to be able to see a client's future. I need to be able to see the success in the future. So when I have that talk with them, I will be able to go, right, okay, yeah, we have the vibe, like I get a good vibe from you, and because of that I can see their future success, and because of that I know and fully fucking believe that they are capable, that they are strong, that they are able to achieve all the goals and more as well, like more than what they personally believe that they're capable of as well. So I believe with all my clients that they're too fucking damn capable to let their goals hold them back as well. So that's why I'm happy to call out bullshit, basically. That is my job as a coach. Anyway, let's get into the meaty part of the podcast. The main excuse that keeps people stuck is the lovely that I hear a lot: I don't have time. This is a lie. This is 100% a lie, and it's absolute bullshit. You make time for what matters. End of. So let's say that, again, let's put it towards like mums for a second. Like if your child is unwell and they need a little bit more of attention, need a little bit more of your attention, you are going to make that time 100%. Like no questions asked. You are going to make time for that child to make sure that they are well, that they get everything that they need in order to get better again. Same with like people who have fur babies. If your dog, cat, I was going to say leprechaun then, that's not a fucking pet. Honestly, my brain is weird sometimes. Your snake, your bloody lizard is sick. You're going to make time to make sure that they get better. 100%, because you care about them. Like it matters to you. And it's the same with your job. Let's say you're self-employed, like myself. If one of my clients needed my attention, I am going to make time for that. Obviously within reason. If I am asleep, if I'm spending time with John, it's a little bit different. But let's say I'm doing check-ins and I get like a panicky message, I am going to make time for that client to make sure their head's screwed on, because they matter. All my clients matter to me. Again, if you get a emergency deadline in work, you're going to make time for it. For example, your partner needs you for whatever reason. Maybe something's happened in their family, maybe someone has passed away, maybe they're ill as well, maybe they're seriously ill, maybe they get taken to hospital. You are going to make time for that. And it is the same with your fitness journey as well. You find, if it matters to you, you will find a way to make it work. Your body, your health, deserves that same level of priority as well. Because again, it's not just for this moment, it's not just for the moment that you're doing that. You're also thinking of future you. You're also should be thinking of 90-year-old you as well, 18-year-old you as well, wanting to make sure that you can wipe your own fucking ass when you're that old. It's about thinking about that, and again, remembering that you deserve that time for you as well, and you deserve that priority 100%. And the difference between the women who make it happen and those who stay stuck are the people who make fitness a non-negotiable. When they plan it into their calendars, they treat it like a business meeting. It's like, no, I've said that I'm going to the gym and doing X, Y, and Z, so I am doing X, Y, and Z. And it's not when I have time thing, because let's be honest, life will never calm down. Waiting for the perfect time, and I've been victim of this too. I 100% have been victim of this too. When this happens, it'll be better. When this happens, it'll be better. When I go here, it'll be better. When I move up in my career and I have more time, I'll be able to focus on it a little bit more. Again, bullshit. Life will never calm down. Life will never calm down. There is always something, and there is always something that you are going to be filling your time with. Again, I can hold my hands up and do this as well, and say that I've done this as well, because I remember when I moved from London back to Manchester. When I moved from London to then working in Manchester, one of the things that I say is that, oh, I'll be able to make more time for X, Y, and Z, because I won't be working the stupid hours, I won't be travelling as long, I won't be working on the weekends as well. However, when I did move up north, I started filling that time up myself with more things, seeing more of my family, seeing more of my friends. I started doing like horses on the weekend for motion graphics and web developments and things like that. I filled up that time, and it's just a natural thing that humans do, because we want challenges. We don't want to be just sat there being like twiddling our thumbs and go, oh right, okay, now we have more time, we can do it. We don't. We always try and fill up that time. So yeah, if you're going to wait for that perfect moment, if you're waiting for the perfect situation, again, I say this out of love, you're going to be waiting forever. Make it happen now. And if life does calm down, cool, then you can fill it up with like the fluffier stuff that you want to do as well. However, as I was saying before, your body deserves that level of priority, your health deserves that level of priority. So the first mindset shift that I want to give you is understanding that fitness makes you better at everything else. And again, this is something that if you're one of my clients watching this, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, I've heard her say this on check-ins. A lot of time, high achieving women and fuck average people think that they can't afford to take away time from work, family, life admin, X, Y, and Z to focus on myself. However, taking care of your body, taking care of yourself isn't stealing time. You're actually buying back more time. You're buying back more energy, focus, confidence. The most successful, powerful women in the world prioritize their health. We're thinking, my God, what's her name now? I think it's Leah Hormozy. Yeah, it is. Please, someone correct me if I'm wrong, if I butcher the name, because I feel like I should know that. Leah Hormozy, which is Alex Hormozy's missus. She is one of the most successful females in the world. She trains nearly daily. You have Kim Kardashian. I know everyone's like, oh, she's just a reality star. She works damn fucking hard. Yes, she got famous for interesting things, and of course, like the being a reality TV star. But now, obviously, she's studying to be a lawyer. She's running multiple businesses. She is fucking busy, and she makes time to train again every single day. Not the most effective training regime, I'm going to be honest with you. There's better ways to do it, but she makes time for her health and fitness. And the reason why they do this, like again, you can pick any successful woman in the world, even just Google some successful women in the world, you will find out that they make time to prioritize their health, because they know that doing that makes them better at everything else. It makes them more productive. It makes them more focused. It's when they show up in meetings, when they show up for their loved ones, they are the best version of you. They are the best version of themselves. They are the most focused and on the ball, and they will catch that fucking ball every single time, because they are prioritizing their health. And it's what I say to my guys, like, you're sharper at work when you're fueled properly and you're not running on caffeine and stress. You show up in relationships, you show up at meetings, business meetings, sales pitches, things like that, big important meetings, when you feel your best. If you're quicker and on the ball, again, you'll be able to handle these situations too. Again, if you're having like big high pressure meetings and high pressure work days, you're going to be you're going to be functioning better because of this as well. You handle pressure better when your body isn't constantly on the edge of burnout as well, when again you're prioritizing your health. So instead of seeing fitness as a time suck, see it as your foundation of energy and success in all other areas of life. And again, I've been there myself. I've been there myself when, again, being self-employed. I run two businesses, by the way, just in case you don't know. Being self-employed, running those two businesses, having like, I think at the time was like 30 plus clients that I was managing as well. I don't have that many clients at the moment. But when I had that many clients, and I just said to myself, oh, I don't have time to train. I don't have time to train. I don't have time to get my steps. I don't have time to do my cardio. I don't have time to train 3 times a week, which looking back, I'm like, Siobhan, like, stop being a fanny, get your shit together. You do have time to do that. But because of that, my productivity went down, my focus went down. I didn't show up as my best self. And I learnt the hard way. I have learnt the hard way. And again, like my business at that time reduce and it weren't doing that well. And again, please learn from my mistakes. I've learned the hard way and now I do prioritize. I put boundaries around my training. I'm not trying to fit my clients in around, I'm not trying to fit my training in around my clients. I fit my clients around my training because I know that's what's going to help me show up as the best version of myself, the best coach, and also to fucking lead from the front. How can I tell my guys to prioritize training if I wasn't doing that myself? So now I do that. I prioritize my training, I prioritize my nutrition, I prioritize my sleep, and I've started and I've gotten a shit ton better at prioritizing my time. Hence why this year and at the end of last year, I started playing video games more. I started reading a lot more. I started watching documentaries, which I fucking love a lot more as well, because it is my time and I work damn hard and I also deserve to have that time off for my health and well-being too. And this is something that I want to show you guys as well. Please don't be like me and get to yourself to the point of burnout, where to the point where other areas of your life starts to diminish because you're not looking after yourself. Learn from my mistakes, do better, just like I am. But yeah, it is the foundation for every other area of a successful life. Next thing is making your plan fit your life. So what I was saying before about like the most successful women in the world and how they prioritize fitness, as I said about like Kim K training every single day, I wouldn't recommend that. If your approach to fitness feels impossible to maintain, you are doing it wrong and it might not fit your life. You don't need to train every single day like Kim K. To be fair, I'd highly suggest you don't, because if you look at her sessions, she just doesn't bring any intensity to those sessions at all. That's the reason why she's able to train 6 days a week, is because she doesn't bring any intensity to it. However, the fittest people in the world usually train 4 or 5 max. Now, if you don't want to be the fittest person in the world, you don't need to do that. Usually what I'd say is between 3 to 4 days a week. And to be fair, some people can get away with 2 as well, depending on what they're doing around that. Again, I'm not going to say everyone can train 2 times a week. Me training for a bodybuilding competition this week would not be able to get away with 2 times a week at all. I wouldn't even get a look in on stage. So yeah, you don't need to train 6 days a week. You don't need to eat like a robot. I eat very like the food. I do eat chicken, rice, broccoli. I do eat very, very basic food, eggs, bacon, like all that kind of stuff. That's just what I like. You don't have to eat like that at all. You don't have to eat fucking salads every single day if you don't want to. Yes, eat like an adult. Yes, have some fruit and veg, have lean protein, stick to 8% whole foods, but you don't have to eat as plain and bland as me. I just am bored with my food. I like it. One of those things. You need a plan that fits you, your life, and your goals. So, for example, it might look like 3 to 4 days of strength training per week. And again, what I was saying before, like you don't have to train 2 hours a day. I train 2 hours because I do have like my resistance training sessions are 1.5 hours, and then obviously I might have cardio as well. So my strength training sessions are quite long. But again, remember, I'm training to be a bodybuilder. If you don't want to be a bodybuilder, or like I was saying before, you don't want to be like one of the healthiest people, not the healthiest, one of the fittest people in the world, strongest people in the world, you don't have to train that long. 45 minutes to 60-minute sessions are more than enough. That's all you need to build a strong, lean, aesthetically appealing physique as well. As I said, my resistance training sessions, I train 4 times a week. At the moment, I do cardio 2 times a week, but obviously when I'm prepping losing body fat, that does go up a little bit more as well. When you're in your sessions, just like I was saying before about Kim K, prioritize intensity, not duration. So again, if you've ever watched Kim Kardashian training, she doesn't bring any intensity to sessions. However, if you look at me or majority of my clients when they're training, we are fucking going for it. We are leaving our soul on that leg press, on the hack squat, on the squat rack. We are leaving our soul there. We are fighting during those sessions. We are training. If you train hard and you have an effective training program, you don't need to spend hours in the gym. If you have a coach who knows what he or she is doing, if you don't know one, I am one. Little plug there. But if you have a coach who knows what they're doing as well, they'll also be able to plan your program to make it more effectively as well. For example, supersets might not be in everyone's program, but if someone's short on time and they need to train their biceps and triceps, which everyone should be training the biceps and triceps, but for example, if time is an issue and someone needs to get the biceps and triceps in, a superset might be really good for that. If again they're short on time, they might do a superset of a pull and a push exercise as well, like together, just to get them in, just to get them in and out of the gym as well within a short period of time. Move daily as well. And this is something that I'm always going on about with my guys. Even if it's just walking, keep your body active outside of your training sessions, which is something. So I'm on a deload this week just because I was very, very tight at the beginning of this week, and my soreness was just not going. So it was, to be fair, I can't remember the last time I had a deload, probably like a year and a half ago. So it's well overdue. So I'm on a deload this week. But even though I'm on a deload, I'm still doing my cardio, I'm still doing my steps, I'm still moving. I'm actually prioritizing more recovery movement, like your stretching, mobility, foam rolling. I'm prioritizing things like that. And this is something that I encourage all of my guys to do, is to move daily, because it does matter, especially again if you're someone who is a high achiever, if you're someone who wants to climb the career ladder, if you're someone who wants to build their own business, to improve the business as well. Making sure that you're moving daily will help your productivity within that business, within your career, within your life as well. And then there's nutrition as well. Fuel your body for your sessions. If you're bringing your A game in your sessions, which you should be, again, you need to be fueled properly for them. Something that I mentioned it before in the podcast, something that I say quite a lot is eat like an adult. You are not a toddler who eats based on cravings. Oh, I just fancied this. No, you should be eating to what you need, to what you think, what you know will fuel your body best. Making sure you get enough protein, eating mostly whole foods. What I usually say to my clients is 80% whole foods, 20% soul foods. Soul foods being like your chocolates and crisps and stuff like that. And stop under eating. Like, sometimes I'll get people coming to me and I check the MyFitnessPal diary and they're on 900 calories. 900 calories! I could not survive on that. And now, obviously, people who do that, they won't be eating 900 calories every day. Usually they'll do it for 3 days and they'll press the fuck it button. But that is, again, stop under eating, because that's what comes of under eating. That eventually shit'll hit the fan in work, and as soon as you get home, you'll be straight into the cupboard eating all the Oreos. So yeah, stop under eating. Eat like an adult. Eat balanced meals as well. Eat big main meals. Stop eating like a fucking piece of toast at breakfast. Like, you need more than that. Like, you need more to fuel your day. And if you do struggle with nutrition, plan your nutrition ahead. And a common barrier that I get from this when I say to people plan ahead is, well, I don't know what I'm going to want tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Again, you are not a fucking child. An example that I give for this is, well, when I was a kid, I don't know if everyone had this upbringing, but I got home and when my tea was served, I got what I was given. I didn't have choice over what I was eating. My mum would be like, right, this is tea today, you're having it, and I'd have to eat it because my mum weren't making 900 different meals. this was the meal. And when my mum was on a diet, we were all on a fucking diet. And if we wanted more meals, if we wanted more food, she'd usually give like my dad like an extra jacket potato or something like that. She'd usually give myself half a potato or one of the smaller jacket potatoes. And of course, she'd have like a jacket potato herself. She'd give my dad 2 things of what they call fillets of salmon. She'd give my dad 2 of those, and I'd have like one, and she'd have one, and then the veg. Like she'd put like usually roughly the same amount of veg on all of our places, on all of our plates. But again, I didn't have a choice on that. I got what I was given. Like simple as that. So if you're the kind of person who's like, well, I'm not gonna know what I want tomorrow, just plan something that you know you like. If you know what you like, spag bol, plan it in for tea. Like you don't eat based on what you want in the moment or cravings. Like this is what toddlers do. This is what kids do, not what adults do. Act like an adult. So yeah, especially if your schedule's craving, if you're crazy, plan what you're having in advance because it'll save you so much time. And if you can meal prep as well, even better. And before anyone says I do not have time to meal prep, again, bullshit. Meal prep saves you time. It gives you that time back. So especially if you are busy, meal prep, meal prep, meal prep. So yeah, meal prep or at least plan something in advance. And then finally, don't let one meal derail you. So this is something that I was saying to one of my clients on the check-in yesterday because she had a moment where not that she'd pressed the fuck it button, she didn't. She just instead of having a meal that fit within her calories, she decided to have a McDonald's instead, and she went 300 over on her calories. It happens. We are all human. I do not expect any of my clients to be perfect 24/7. We are human, not robots, and I hold my hands up. There are times where I fuck up myself as well. However, because I've been in the game a lot longer, my fuck ups are usually not as big as other people's fuck ups. And they're probably like further spread apart as well. But again, I am human. I do fuck up. Now, when you have this fuck up, don't let it derail you. Now, one thing that I was really proud about with that client, and I said it to her in the check-in, is that one, she tracked it in. Like she didn't hide from it. She tracked it into, she weren't using MyFitnessPal, she put it into the Kahunas, which is the app that I use. It has like a food tracker in it. She tracked it into Kahuna, so she knew how much she went over on it, so she fucking owned it. So mega, mega proud of her for doing that. But also because she did that on the Friday, she didn't let it fuck up the whole of the weekend. She just carried on as normal. She carried on as normal. She had normal food on Saturday, Sunday within her calories, and then Monday again back to normal as well because she was already back to normal. And this is something that I really praised her about on her check-in, is because there are a lot of people who after that fuck up after that one meal, they'll literally just go, oh, I might as well fuck off the whole weekend and have whatever I want and go absolutely ham, and that will derail your progress more than just that one meal and going, all right, shit, let's get back on track again. Now, when that does happen, and again I mentioned it to her in her check-in, is we take that situation and learn from it and put things in place so that either it never happens again or you reduce the chances of it happening, which we have done, and we've had a chat about that, and I'm again super proud of her. But yeah, as I was saying before, one off-track meal isn't a failure. Get back on track, move on. We all do it. Learn from it, especially, and move on. Next thing is recovery. So a lot of people that I speak to who are fuck average people, high achievers, is they are really shit on their sleep. Now, with sleep, I always feel like a little bit of a, what is the word? Hypocrite? That's probably the best word that I'm trying to think of when I talk about sleep, because I don't actually get a lot of sleep. I'm usually like a 6 hour. However, I don't actually need that much sleep. I can run off less sleep than other people. I don't know why. It might have something to do with my ADHD. I've never really looked into it. I don't overly care. It's like I know that I can thrive off less sleep than other people. There we go. However, most people need more than 6 hours sleep. Most people need between 7 and 9. So Jonathan, my partner, 8 hours actually isn't enough for him. He needs more like 9 hours. And again, that's okay. That's him. That's what he needs. He knows that he needs that amount of hours to feel, perform and function at his best self. So he does that. He makes that time for sleep, because otherwise if he doesn't get that, he won't be performing at the best of his ability. His productivity will suffer, his performance in the gym will suffer. And again, it's kind of like a puzzle. it won't all come together. Sleep, like your success depends on it, because it does. If you are a fuck average person, you can't be having like a really stupidly low amount of sleep. I know that if I get like 4 or 5 hours, I'm fucked and I can't focus properly. If you're constantly exhausted, you won't be able to show up as your best self at all. Which brings us on really nicely to stress as well. If you don't control your stress, it will control you. Again, I say this out of love. I say this out of someone who has been there as well. Your body will end up fighting your fat loss journey. You'll be fighting your fitness journey if you're overly stressed too. Not so much because of the actual stress itself, it's because of it'll make it harder for you to do other things that will make you harder to show up as well. So making sure that you manage your stress is super important. And again, obviously making time for your health and fitness, but making time for you to like read before you go to sleep, or journal, or meditate, or do things that help you feel good after it as well. And then taking rest seriously, as I was saying before about like Kim K training 6 days a week, she can probably do that because she trains like a bit of a wet lettuce. Again, I'm not holding anything back, she does. If you watch her videos, you'll probably be like, what the fuck is this? But if you are pushing yourself in your sessions, if you're pushing yourself in every aspect of life, you need that rest. So having that recovery, having that day off from training, from work, from push is part of the process, again, for you to like settle to come back fighting as well. It's why I'm also again, over the past probably like 7-8 months now, I've been really taking that seriously, just so I can show up as the best coach for my clients as well. And of course, ditching the all or nothing mindset. The all or nothing mindset is a very common thing where high achievers will sabotage themselves, because, and again, I've been there as well, where if I think I can't do something perfectly, you might as well not do it at all. Again, very common. So things like the fucking up on that meal and going, I fucked up, I might as well fuck up for the rest of the week instead of like just getting back on track. If let's say you're short on time and you know that when you get to the gym you won't be able to do your full workout, so you fuck off your workout, when actually it would have been better for you to go do what you can do and then go home. Maybe, I don't know, maybe your ankle feels a little bit funny, you won't be able to do cardio, I'm not going to do any movement at all, just still go out and get a walk. That'll be better than nothing. Something that I always say to my guys is control what you can control. What can you do? If something is holding you back, i.e. time, maybe you don't have all the fucking ingredients for the recipe or dinner you want, ingredients, what can you do? How can you control the situation? And something that I always go back to, always, is imperfect action is better than no action at all. And fun enough, I was talking to one of my guys on a one-to-one call yesterday because she's training for a triathlon. And in her plan, she has X amount of cycling. I think it's like 15 to 20 kilometers on the bike. And she was worried that she was struggling to get to that 15 kilometers. And I said, look, like just keep on going, keep on pushing that, keep on seeing what you can do, and keep on working up over time, because even if you can't get to that 15 to 20 kilometers yet, it is still important for you to do that and just push yourself to your best of your ability, even if you're not getting that, because imperfect action is better than no action at all. And it's the same with my guys. When I give them a heavier weight and they go, oh shit, I won't be able to, let's say it's a shoulder press, I won't be able to get 8 to 10 reps with the weight that you've just given me. And I just say, let's see what happens. If you don't get 8 reps, it is not the end of the world. It is honestly not the end of the world. We at least know where you're at. However, if you do, we're going to celebrate that. And it's about not taking fitness so seriously and just pushing yourself and seeing where you can get to as well. Again, imperfect action is better than no action at all. And sometimes, again, I'll do this in my own training as well. I add like another plate on, or I add like some weight on, and I go, let's see where I'm at, because sometimes it's mind over matter and sometimes you can do it. So yeah, big lesson there for you all as well. So for example, like a 30-minute session is better than skipping the gym. If you can't go to the gym for whatever like transport reason, can you get someone on YouTube and like dance along or do a workout on YouTube? Eating 80% on point is better than stressing over one bad meal. If for whatever reason, maybe you're at a family buffet or a restaurant and there's no calories on the menu, can you intuitively eat or guesstimate the calories rather than not tracking that in? or can you just focus on like the best version and focus on the portion size instead? Like, what can you do? Getting 6 hours of sleep is better than running a little bit. Getting 6 hours of sleep is better than running on 4 and pretending that you'll catch up on later. Success in fitness, just like business, just like relationships, just like anything in life, is about that consistency over time, not perfection. You might have like a handful of days that are perfect and a couple of days that aren't. However, that is better than, because you know you're not going to have like a perfect week, just not doing anything throughout the week as well. And the final point that I want to end on, because I've realised this is a very, very long podcast, like I have made bullet points to try and like speed this podcast up, but you all know what I'm like in my ramblings. But yeah, the final point that I want to make is own your identity of who you want to be. So if you want to be a fit, strong, high achieving woman, own that identity, show up as her. How does she act to periods of time where she's not motivated? How does she react when work is crazy busy? How does she react when she might not be able to get to the gym? What does she do instead? And this is something that I tell all of my guys, is think of the future version of you watching over you. How is she, or that you're living? If you think of the future version of you and the battles that she's gone through, you are that version of you before you come that. You are working up to that next level version of you. So when you are at a point where you're having to make a decision, where you're finding something tough, where you might be having that mental battle, low motivation, maybe shit has hit the fan in work, think of that future version of you who has achieved everything that you want to achieve, and go, how did she get around this situation? How did this next level version of you get around this situation? And show up as her, become her, live as her, and you will become her, because she was you before she became that as well. The women who stay stuck in the cycle of burnout, weight gain, and frustration are usually the ones that don't believe that they can get there, when it is possible for everyone. 100% it is possible. The version of me sitting here right now is the future version of me that, 7 years ago, I didn't fully believe that I could get here. But I pushed and pushed and pushed, and I almost said fuck off to my self-limiting beliefs. And I am this next level version of me that I was 7 years ago. If you've seen the before and after picture of me, you will know what I'm on about. That version of me from 7 years ago is not the same person who's sitting here and talking to you right now. And the version of me that I'm trying to get to is completely next level as well, and I show up as her like as much as I can. Yes, again, human, fuck up every now and again, but when I am faced with a dilemma, sounds really dramatic, but when I'm faced with a period of low motivation, when I'm like, I mean, to be fair, this is a lazy Saturday to me. Can I be fucked going to the gym and doing cardio and doing my posing practice? Absolutely not. But I know next level version of me, and I roll my eyes at this because I walk the walk. I do what I tell my clients to do. The next level version of me has done that. The next level version of me is like, fuck your excuses, fuck your low motivation. I am going ahead and doing this. So again, if you've watched my Instagram on this Saturday before, when I am filming this, you'll see me go to the gym and do my posing practice, and you'll be like, oh right, okay, yeah, she did end up doing that, because yeah, fuck your excuses, fuck your low motivation, we're getting this done. The women who achieve everything that they want are the ones who fully commit to it, who fully commit to being the next level version of themselves as well, and having them become a part of who they are as well. It's not fitness isn't something that they are trying to fit in. It's something that they, again, end up really, I'm trying to put this in the right words. Fitness, they end up not embodying it, they end up identifying with it. Like, I want to be a fit individual, I want to be the person who gets up and goes on a morning walk. They become that person, and they're the people who succeed, the people who take it and run with it and live like the next level version of them that they want to be. Anyway, ramble again. So if you decide that you are a woman who prioritizes her body, her health, and her fitness, as well as succeeding in all of the areas of your life, you will make it happen. Don't be average, don't settle, and even more importantly, do not make excuses and stop acting like fitness is optional, because it is not. It is part of being an adult. It's like brushing our teeth, taking our bins out. It's what we should be doing to be the very best version of ourselves. When you own this part of your life, and you really, really truly bring the intensity to it, it will bring that intensity to all other areas of your life as well. Like everything will shift. And again, something that I say to my guys is that the way that you do one thing is the way that you do everything. So if you show up with your fitness journey with a fuck average attitude, whether I am going to make this happen, I am going to solve this problem, I am going to bring my very best self to this will also flow over and bleed into all other areas of life as well. So anyway, I've gone on this podcast is nearly, well, it's 46 minutes at the moment. I have rambled way long enough, so let's wrap this up. Going back to the very, very beginning, you don't need more time. You need to start making fitness a priority. You don't need perfection, you need consistency, and you don't need to choose between success and your body. You need to realize that both of them go hand in hand as well. So I do actually have some homework for you today. If you're driving, obviously don't pause this, but if you are listening to this as you're doing something, maybe grab a pen and a piece of paper, or go onto your phone notes just so you can write this down. First thing that will really, really help you is to audit your week and find 3 to 4 slots in your week for training and put them in your calendar like a meeting. So what I do is I have Google Calendar and I literally put my Google Calendar when I am training, and I don't deviate from that because again it's a business meeting with myself that I'm not cancelling. Clean up your nutrition as well, so plan your meals so you're not winging it. Again, we go off what we need, not what we want, and obviously we can plan in meals that we like as well. And make sure that you're prioritizing protein, real food, and make sure you're hydrated as well. And then the last one is to drop the all or nothing thinking. So one day off or one day that hasn't gone perfect isn't failure. Keep on moving forward and keep on focusing on being 1% better than what you was yesterday, last week, last month, last year as well. As usual, if you got value from today's episode, please share it, either to your stories, share it with a friend, share it with another high achieving, fuck average woman who needs to hear this. And if you're ready to level up your body whilst making sure that you thrive in all other areas of your life, make sure to follow along this podcast and more as well. But thank you for listening to this very long podcast today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please rate me 5 stars on podcasts. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Interact in all the ways that you can interact on Spotify, YouTube, just so that it pushes this podcast to more people, so I can help more people as well. And other than that, I will see you on the next one.